Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Sadie and Friends. Just reminding you to go ahead and check out the folks at Garage Door Service and Sales. You know, recently the keypad on our garage door broke. You really don't know how much that disrupts your everyday life until it happens. And that's why I'm so glad to know the folks at Garage Door Service and Sales, because Patrice, her and her family, they have owned this business for decades. So many decades, in fact, I wasn't even alive. And I've been alive for like a really long time. They were chugging away for 2 decades before I showed up. And I'm so glad that I now have people to call, whether it's something small like the keypad on the garage door, it's just being funky, or maybe it's something big like, hey, we want to completely change the look of our home, so we want a new garage door. That's what they do at Garage Door Service and Sales. So give them a call today, or better yet, go online to see what they have to offer. GarageDoorServiceandSales.com. Garage Door Service and Sales, a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.
I'm going to say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Let's talk about marriage.
They have like a 2-second rebound rate and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
Parenting. Oh my gosh.
They have sucked the pretty right out of me. They treat me like it, and I do their laundry. Lucky me.
Sex.
I'm caught between two evils. I generally like to take the one I never tried.
Scary stuff like ghosts. I know it's totally out of left field, but just go with me on this.
Boo, you whore.
Love.
I give you what you need. That's all. I'm talking about taking care of each other the best you can. What's wrong with taking care of a woman? She takes care of you.
Friendships.
Wink and her necklace says best friends forever.
Actually, you want it to say forever? I don't think you guys will be best friends forever, no offense. But sometimes you grow apart, and maybe she'll find a new best friend. They end up doing everything together.
Do you remember those?
Oh, I got them. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was going to say, if any of my friends I could think of got glamour shots growing up, it was you. It was
Let
you.
me find one. I'm going to send you one of them.
Did you also get them with your mother, the two of you together?
No, it was just me by myself.
Oh, damn. I remember going over to like friends' house when I was young, and you always knew that they were they had money if they had glamour shots like mother, daughter, and like the rhinestone hats. And it was like, oh, they're all bedazzled and we're poor.
It was just me by my lonesome. It was a treat.
Did you make it the appointment yourself, or was it a gift?
So my dad took me out for like a shopping day, and it started off with glamour shots, and then we went shopping all day.
Are you serious? My dad would never have done that. He was a farmer. He would have been like, what the hell are glamour shots? But I'm saying right now, which I'll be posting videos of today's episode with Dr. G. Right now, you look you said foggy, but no, it looks so soft, and I look so harsh and like pointy, and you look very smooth and
thank you.
Soft and very.
And my hair is just up and messy and kind of like a glamour shot.
You know, I'm very excited about what we decided to talk about today, because it's something that I have been working on trying to do better. And it's so hard for me to do. And I think it's hard for a lot of people to do. And what I'm talking about is meditation, and is a shit. And Dr. G is we should just use your damn real name at this point. But Dr. G, you meditate. And
mm-hmm.
you gotten pretty good at it.
I have. I used to do hypnotherapy back in the day, so I could do self hypnosis. So meditation's a very similar-esque practice.
Can you explain just what self hypnosis? What does that do? What do you mean?
When you do it to yourself, you just slip into like a really deep state. Like, it's not like, we used to go to a hypnotist all the time that I really liked at the comedy clubs. And somebody would be hypnotized like and doing funny things. But really, when you slip into a state of hypnosis, it's used in therapy a lot because sometimes it can tap into areas where maybe you're really feeling stuck. But self-hypnosis is a little bit more just like a deep relaxation or a deep meditative state.
So it's the hypnosis is deeper than meditation?
I would say they can be very similar, but a lot of like general meditations don't take you to that deep level. So if you are practicing meditation through like a Buddhist practice, you probably go to that deep state of meditation that's similar to hypnotherapy, or not hypnotherapy, but hypnosis, self-hypnosis.
Could you I know it's self-hypnosis, but could you hypnotize other people? Did you learn how to do that?
That was part of it. Yes. So it was done for therapy.
You are like the person who knows how to do the most random shit. And it's always like, yeah, no, I can hypnotize people. Oh yeah, no, I juggle. It's like the most random stuff. I'm like, you do? So you can hypnotize people?
Yeah. I only have done it for therapy purposes, but yes.
I want you to hypnotize me next time I see you in person, okay? I'm going to be that annoying person who's like, hypnotize me. Put me in a deep state. But to get back to the whole meditation thing, I think that it's just so important if people, with life, you just get so busy with stuff and you get to be running around, and it's really hard to take a minute just to kind of focus on nothing. And that's what meditation, from what my understanding is. It's just the focus of being where you are at right now, not thinking about what's in the future or what's going on. My problem is I will sit and I will close my eyes and I will do the breath work. And then I will maybe hear something. And is that a cricket? And I think that's a cricket. And you know what? Summer's coming soon. It's going to be hot. I got to and then you go off into a spiral, which is, I think, why so many people don't get into meditation. But also something to know is it's a practice where you have to practice to get good at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And people are better at it than they think. But because our minds are so busy, they feel like, I can't do this. Right. And you're right. So meditation is the practice of being in the here and now. And the easiest way to break it down is being mindful. Right. So if you're doing a truly mindful practice, you're doing one activity at a time. Think of when you've just done one activity at a time. If you shower and listen to music while you shower, that's two things. If you listen to music or a podcast or things like that while you're driving, that's two things. So that's not truly being mindful. Driving is actually very hard to be mindful because you have to pay attention to cars. You're looking for directions. You're listening to music. It's a very distracted activity. But the practice of mindfulness is that presence of one activity, one thing at a time. And so you always hear mindfulness and meditation together. And so meditation, one of the easiest ones to get into it to help you kind of calm your thoughts, calm your mind, is like a mindfulness meditation practice. And that's just observing your thoughts without any judgment, right? No judging yourself, just observing your thoughts. So like you just said, you're sitting there, you're practicing breath work, you hear the crickets. Like, allow yourself to hear the crickets.
I hear the crickets
right?
in an empty jar. And I think, oh, here I go. Can't be a meditator. Yeah, go ahead.
But think of that. Just listen to the crickets. Like, no judgment. Okay, I hear the crickets. What do they sound like? And then you just start focusing on the sounds of the crickets. If your mind starts going, like, that means summer's coming. And, you just kind of, we're going to go here and we're going to do these activities, or what am I going to do with my kids? And I don't even know, and if you start going down whatever thought path that you go down, just pull yourself back. Nope, I'm listening to the crickets, right? Like, you just keep redirecting yourself. And you may spend, I recommend if somebody's new to meditation, start with like 1 minute, right? Mm-hmm. Just 1 minute. You don't have to jump into a 30-minute meditation or a 15-minute meditation. Just do 1 minute. And if you can do 1 minute 3 or 4 times a day, great. And then maybe you build up to 2 minutes, and maybe you get to 5 minutes. And if you spend the whole 5 minutes back to my breath, or back to the crickets, or back to whatever it is, don't judge yourself and just redirect. You're actually doing meditation because you're bringing yourself back. You're aware of the distraction and you're bringing yourself back to what you're to be focusing on.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So that's a form of meditation. You mentioned the driving thing and how you can't meditate while you're driving, obviously. But I've also heard someone say, I heard this one time, you know, when you drive home from somewhere and you kind of zone out, you know, you're not obviously under the influence, but you zone out and maybe the radio's not even on and you're just kind of staring. And then you get home and you're like, what? I hardly even remember driving home. I have heard that is what meditation is, that getting to that state of, and I'm like, well, that's just a state of thinking of nothing, but isn't that what you're supposed to be doing?
I would challenge that. So we've all had that, right? I've gotten to places and I'm like, oh my gosh, or I've actually gotten to the wrong place. I get so focused on the car in front of me and I start following them. And then I'm like, what am I doing? This isn't where I'm driving. That is because your mind is just so distracted and it's focused on something. And that is a sign that you need to do some of your own meditation. Yes, you should not meditate while you're driving, but you're not being mindful. You're totally zoned out in La La Land. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, if you're driving, it's very hard to be mindful, which is, you can have a form of meditation, being mindful when you're driving. Because even if you don't listen to anything, and there are times when my brain is so busy, I actually prefer driving in silence. My husband laughs if he gets in the car and there's no noise on, and he's like, what? Are you an 85-year-old? Like, why are we driving in silence? But if you can drive with nothing and just like focus on driving, that's the most mindful driving you would ever have, even though my driving is very distracted. Just think of everything you have to do.
Yeah.
Turn signal on, windshield wipers, you know.
Don't hit
traffic lights,
that guy on
cars.
a bike. You know, it's a lot.
All of it.
It's a lot. So how long do you and how often do you meditate?
I go through ebbs and flows, right? Like, I'd love to meditate daily. It's so good for me. And I really can feel it when I'm in like a really good routine of doing it. I would say at best, getting 3 minutes fits in my day, right? I love 15 minutes is my ideal, but I don't always give myself the time. I'm not going to say I don't always have the time. I always have 15 minutes, even in my wild, chaotic schedule. 15 minutes exists.
Yeah,
if I can
too.
scroll
insane.
Instagram, I can do 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's a really good way to look at it. Talk about scrolling Instagram. There's so many different things that are just constantly screaming at you from the phone and the TV and the whatever you're listening to, whatever you're watching. It's just so loud. And so my other question to you, since that just went nowhere, but my other question to you is, do you do self-guided or do you listen to a meditation? Because you could do both if you get really good and you could do it on your own. Some people prefer that silence and some people need to be walked through that, which Dr. G is actually going to walk us through just a 15 minute, but just a quick meditation. So if you're driving, sit back, relax.
Don't close your eyes.
Just crack them a little bit. No, just kidding. But I mean, do you do self-guided at this point, or do you like to hear the gentle Indian man's voice talk you through it?
There are certain meditations that I like to listen to. I do appreciate somebody walking me through it, but also meditation and like mindful practices. And I do cross them a little bit because you can build them into anything. I like to build them into different times. And so some, I guess you could say, are self-guided, right? Like if you're feeling really distracted, I'm sitting here at my desk, like this is where I work. If I need a break, ideally I'm getting up and walking somewhere, but if not, I could just sit back. I could stare at this plant right here and just look at it and be like, 2 minutes of observing it. Wow, look at how that leaf is shaped, or look at how pointy it is over here, you know?
So you're like consciously looking at it. I mean, You're not just looking at it and then zoning out while staring at it.
Nope. Meditation does not have to be zoning out, and meditation can be done with your eyes open. They can be done with your eyes closed, your eyes open. There's different ways of practices for meditation or being mindful. It could be like just sitting down and a quick body scan, right? Eyes open or closed. If you're sitting waiting in the doctor's office, instead of just picking up your phone and like jumping on social media, let's say you get kind of white coat syndrome, right? You get nervous before doctor's appointments and really anxious. You could just sit in your chair, feet on the ground, hands on your lap or wherever, and be comfortable and just like focus, deep breath, scan from the top of your head, and then move down to your ears, your face, your jaw. Are you clenching? Then your shoulders. Do they feel tight? Okay, roll them back. How do your arms feel? And all the way down to your toes. And that's a really quick practice you can do on your own without having to be guided by anyone.
I did not know that was a meditative process.
It's
That's interesting. A body scan. I mean, I will do that occasionally, and I will always be shocked because I'm clenching my fists or like my shoulders are really tight. So I do try to throughout the day kind of take a check on that, but I didn't know that was also a form of meditation.
Absolutely. There's so many different kinds. The body scan meditation is great because it can bring that awareness. Like if you're clenching your fists, for me, it's my jaw. Like I clench my jaw, and that tells me, oh, this body scan just tells you you're stressed. Like you need to take a deep breath. Mm-hmm. There's mindfulness meditations. There's certain focus ones where you like concentrate on a single object, whether it's the plant that I just gave you the example of, or breath work, or looking at a rock, or staring at a candle that's flickering. Those are focused attention meditations. You can do loving kindness meditation if you like need to turn inwards and really work on, maybe you're not feeling so great, or maybe you needed to practice the let them theory and it got out of hand and you need to do some loving kindness back to yourself.
It got out of hand. Okay. So tell me about, like, walk me through like a self-reflective, self-love meditation. How would you do that? Hey, everybody, just popping in here right in the middle of the episode. Sorry to be annoying about it, but I want to tell you really quick about my friends at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air. I don't know about you, but it has been, where I'm at, it has been so up and down. One day you're like burning in your shorts, and then the next day it's raining. It's so rainy, and we need the moisture. You keep hearing people say that, but really you're thinking, God, I'm cold. I'm chilled to the bone. I like to know that I have a furnace and AC unit to kind of flip back and forth anytime the weather changes, because Colorado be crazy. And so I love my friends at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air because they just recently came out. We had Caleb Hart come out. That's the guy who works for them, one of the many wonderful employees, and he was so stellar. I'm not just saying this because they are a sponsor of the podcast. I'm saying it because the customer service from start to finish was A+. So much so that I did. I went on Yelp and I gave them an A+ review, which I hardly ever do. I need to do that more. I think I need to do that more. I really only want to do it when I'm really angry at a place, but not Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air. I was so impressed. I felt compelled to jump on there and do that. That's the kind of customer service they have. Because lo and behold, when I got there to leave the review, guess what? There were a bunch of other people who had already beat me to the punch. And that says a lot about the business you're working with. So with spring, get that system checkup to make sure that it is running in tip-top shape. These are your go-to people. They're available 24/7, 365. My friends at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Just go to polarbearpha.com.
It's saying just loving kindness things to yourself. Either, like you are worth it, you hold value, you are kind, you are loving, you are strong. It can be like a mantra. It could just be like 2 or 3 statements repeated to yourself and doing breath work with that. Like, I am kind, I am compassionate, and you just repeat that to yourself. I am rich. I'm rolling in the dough.
I'm so rich.
No, and then you envision yourself on the bed of money.
And it will come true. The whole thing about the meditation. So how would you do? First of all, have you ever thought about, because people can take meditation classes with like multiple people in the room. You could also hire someone to go and sit and they'll guide you through it like a one-on-one. But you could also go to full classes. What do you think of that? To me, that would truly be distracting.
I actually have a course written up that I just need the time. And it's like, I can have it be 6 weeks or 8 weeks, one time a week. And there's a certain coffee shop that I could partner with and just host them in there and walk through each one as like doing different forms of meditation, and you tie in like stretching to that and breath work and different movements. And so I think they're valuable.
Interesting. See, I feel like I would be so distracted that I would.
That's part of the work is
learning how to focus better. See,
Mm-hmm.
it's the cricket sound. Okay. So you want to guide us through a meditative state. So, Okay. So guide us through this. Let's give it a try. This can't be any crazier than when you had that laughing thing where you're like, just laugh for 10 minutes about nothing. Let me tell you, I've tried that without you. And I'm like, this is so weird. It doesn't really work as well, but you're going to give us an example of a guided meditation now.
I am. So no interrupting me, Sadie, while I go through this. Until I tell you to open your eyes.
I'm going to turn my mic down. Okay. Deal.
All right. So to start off, I'll just have everyone sit comfortably in a chair, or if you're standing, find a place that your body is able to just be comfortable and be at rest. So once you are in your comfortable position, sitting upright, lying down, standing, let your hands just gently rest to your sides. And if you feel safe to do so, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and slowly exhale through your mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Now, let your breathing return to its natural rhythm. There's no need to change it, just notice it. Feel the air as it enters your nose and again as it leaves. The rise and fall of your chest or belly. Let each breath anchor you into this moment. As you sit here, you may notice thoughts begin to rise. That's completely okay. When you notice your mind wandering, gently return your attention to your breath. In and out. In and out. You may also become aware of sensations in your body. Tightness, tingling, warmth, or stillness. Whatever you notice, simply observe it without judgment. Allow everything to be as it is. Now bring your attention to your whole body sitting here, breathing. Feel the weight of your body supported by the chair or the floor. Feel grounded, steady, and present. Take one more deep breath in and exhale slowly. When you're ready, gently wiggle your fingers and your toes and slowly open your eyes. Now take a moment to notice how you feel.
Sleep.
What'd you think? I mean, on this rainy, gloomy day.
I know. I feel like I want you to come over and do that while I'm falling asleep at night. It would, or get like a recording of you. I guess that would be a little less creepy. Or more creepy. But do you do that a lot with your patients? And do you find that it helps when you talk to somebody who's in like a really heightened state of, nervousness or having a crisis? Do you ever, how often do you say, let's bust out a meditation?
Sometimes it's not so much like in individual sessions meditations. I have used some. There's one I really like about a mountain, because it allows us to see like what challenges are really presented. Oh my God,
will you do the mountain one? Because I really like that last one.
The mountain one's a long one.
It is? Okay. Well,
yeah,
thanks.
Longer than what we have time for today, but I can do that with you at one point, or we can do another episode if people want that and just record that for people to listen to.
You know what? We'll put that on a bonus episode, and we'll do, said your name again. We'll do Dr. G's meditations. And that way, if you want to listen, and maybe you're in a position right now where you cannot do the meditation that she just walked us through, like driving. Actually, driving, I don't think is you can't close your eyes. And
that's fine. You don't have to close your eyes to meditate. So if somebody's driving and they want to just do that, they would focus on their breath work and just taking deep breaths and just noticing the sensations in their body while they're driving. So that you still could be active while you do that one. It's just different when you're sitting still, not distracted by other things.
So talking more about breath work, I'm one of these, I'm really weird where if I'm in pain or if I'm upset, I just will stop myself from breathing. I hold my breath. I mean, like when I was giving birth to Murphy, then they had to have a nurse stand by me to tell me to breathe, which is so embarrassing. But also when I just hold my breath when I get in a heightened state of distress of any kind. And God bless Ryan, because he is so good. He'll be like, you got to breathe if he knows I'm angry or upset about something, because I just hold it in. So the importance of learning how to do that for yourself and open yourself up to that breath work has really helped me out. But what are some other plus sides to, you get clarity from it. The body scan thing, that's a big deal. What else do you get from really learning how to regulate your breath?
Yeah. So breath work it takes you out of that heightened state. So that's what I was going to say. If I don't jump into a meditation in individual sessions, sometimes we just start with deep breath, because it just allows you to cleanse whatever it is, whatever energies you're holding on to, nervousness, anxiety, anger, frustration. If you can do a few deep breaths, you can actually calm the nervous system, right? We hold our breath or we do different things because our nervous system starts to dysregulate. And so the breath work allows you just to kind of calm that state for a moment. Breath work, actually, you can try this watching your heart rate on your watch, or I used to like to do it on treadmills that have those heart rate things. Get your heart rate really high and then do boxed breathing, and it will naturally, you'll see your heart rate drop really fast. Also, it's what they train you within emergency services and police work and things like that, are certain breathing techniques to allow yourself to stay calm in high stress crisis situations. And the box breathing is really what it sounds like. It's a box, right? So you breathe in for 2 seconds. 4 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds. And you just are like a box. So draw a box. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, in, hold, out. And you just keep doing that. It's also known as tactical breathing. I think Navy SEALs use it. High stress jobs with a lot of crisis work are using that to lower the heart rate, bring your focus, calm your nervous system. You can also inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds. You can build up to 6 seconds or 8 seconds. One really cleansing one is inhaling for about 4 or 6 seconds, holding, and then exhale for even longer, double whatever you inhaled. So if you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. And then I'm sure you've heard in yoga classes, maybe you've done this, I'm not sure, but belly breathing. So belly breathing is when you want to actually feel the diaphragm expand. A lot of times, us as humans, we don't do that full deep breath to our diaphragm. We stay very shallow in our chest. And it's just really shallow breath. It's when you can breathe deeply that improves your oxygen. So that reduces tension in your body. That can help you kind of regulate your emotions better.
And you're breathing so deep with that your stomach is coming out, because you're ooh, you're getting it all into your stomach and then going out. And that's what they say in yoga is fill up your stomach, which I could really fill mine up. But I mean, like you're supposed to fill it up and then empty it out. And that's what, just in case someone's listening and doesn't know, full body breathing. Or does everybody know that? And I just thought maybe people, I don't know, but.
Well, put your hands, and I always say this, like if you put your hands on your rib cage and breathe, like, are you feeling your rib cage go in and out?
Oh.
So that's just shallow chest breathing. If you want to do deep belly breathing, sometimes your rib cage isn't even going out and your whole belly's rising up.
You look pregnant. Not you, me.
But that's okay. You're not pregnant. You're doing true belly breathing versus shallow chest and rib cage breathing.
Look
make
that.
Make the pregnant belly. That's a healthy thing.
I love it. Dr. G, you've done it again. You have put me at a completely relaxed state right now. And it's because of your wonderful guided meditation. And again, she knows a couple of other ones. And I'm thinking maybe we should record those. And if you want to follow her guided meditation, I think it's a gift to the world, Dr. G. So thank you for that. And
you are so welcome.
Can you believe we're out of time for this week already? But I'm so glad to have you back. It just flies by. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll be back tomorrow. Goodbye, Dr. G.
Goodbye, Sadie.